Namaskar and welcome to Radio Zindagi, America's #1 South Asian radio network, coast to coast. And this is the time when we present to you Dr. Saket Bhatia. Dr. Saket Bhatia, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Kulraj. How are you?
Great. And folks, I want all of you to welcome Dr. Saket Bhatia. He is very well known in the Tri-State now. We all know him. He's here every Tuesday at 3 o'clock, between 3 hours of 3 and 4. And Dr. Saket Bhatia is live with us on Radio Zindagi. Dr. Saket Bhatia is a PhD in astrology and is a certified professional numerologist and over 25 years of experience. That's a lot of experience. And folks, with his combined power of astrology and numerology, he can help you gain direction and provide guidance in your life's journey. If you have any questions during the show, you can call us at 732-662-4701. I will repeat the number 732-662-4701, or you can reach him after the show 408-639-5300. His website is saketbhatia.com. If you want to send him an email, info@saketbhatia.com. Again, the studio number 732-662-4701, and you can call him anytime during the show, and we will love to answer your call. And you know what to do. You have to give your name, date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and one question, because there is only so much time we have right now. And welcome, Dr. Saket Bhatia. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's wonderful to meet you again. Har hafte aate hain hum. We try to educate people on astrology, numerology, and what benefits are, right?
I think, Dr. Saket Bhatia, you take time out to educate people. And I see already people want to reach you and talk to you, but let's start the show and then we'll take more calls. And Doctor, in the last show, we talked about houses in astrology, the dominance of planetary and all that we discussed throughout for 1 hour, and we gave them an overview. So that was really very interesting. So let's this week offer our listeners a complimentary. You gave them that Varshfal report. How has that been for you so far?
आपको तो पता है, we do two shows, right? We do one in the Bay Area and we do one in New York. Uh,
Gee,
from New York, we got about 51 requests for Varshfal. And from the Bay Area, we got about 80 plus. So 130 plus people have already contacted us in 1 week, telling us they're interested in their birth chart. So it takes us time. My only request is please be patient. Every report is handmade. We're not using a software, so हमें time जाता है. Uh, make sure you are giving your correct date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and if you have family members, have no issue. Give us details of all of them. हम बनाते हैं उनके. Uh, and then you can always follow up with more. But the response has been better than we expected. 130 people in 1 week is not less. That's averaging 20 a day. Na? So काफी अच्छा response hai. I'm glad people are looking into this. It's complimentary, it's free. So just ask all the questions. Send in your details. We'll make the report for you. Remember, this is a वर्षफल, which means एक साल में आपकी life कैसे जाएगी, कहाँ जाएगी. The prediction report will be sent to you by email. It's about 40 to 50 pages long. Okay?
wow. I think,
Month by
Dr.
month.
Saket
आप
Bhatia,
भी
I think
request करो, आपको दे देंगे.
thank you so much. I think we all need it. And before you start the show, you want to talk to listeners and welcome. Hello, you are live with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Can you hear them?
Nope.
Can you hear him now?
Now I can.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us? Well, it's definitely not at our side. Kulraj, I can hear him, but he can't hear me. So कुछ गड़बड़ है.
Uh, I think they can call us again. Perhaps they're not connected. Everything is okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we can continue.
Yeah. So let's start with our first question. Um, so today's topic is about houses in astrology. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about different styles of birth charts?
Okay. There are two most common types of birth charts which are used, birth chart styles which are used in astrology. एक होता है नॉर्थ इंडियन चार्ट, एक होता है साउथ इंडियन चार्ट. अगर आपने एस्ट्रोलॉजी पढ़ी है, यू एवर लुक्ड एट योर चार्ट, you will have one of those. You probably won't have both. Both will give the same results. Both are equally accurate. They're just represented differently. जो नॉर्थ इंडियन चार्ट है, that that happens to focus more on the house. So the first house is always on top. Second house is on the left. You move anti-clockwise. In the South Indian chart, it's represented by a bunch of squares. The sign is fixed, the house moves. So North Indian is a fixed house moving sign, South Indian is a fixed sign moving house. दोनों के advantages हैं, दोनों के disadvantages भी हैं. The North Indian chart is easier for aspects. The South Indian chart is easier for like representation of which planet is sitting where. Again, they're just styles. So difference यही है कि a astrologer can get used to any one style, but results will be the same, right? So North Indian chart जब हम पढ़ते हैं, we can immediately say, okay, moon is sitting in the second house, you're probably very emotional and so on. But in South Indian chart, we don't care that way. We say more which sign it is sitting in. Sun is sitting in Scorpio, you're a very secretive person. So again, results same आते हैं. Representation is different. The look and feel is different. But North and South Indian, typically astrologers follow one of them, not both of them.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the both charts are similar, just look different.
Both the charts are identical. They look different. North Indian
Hmm.
is like a diamond, and South Indian is like squares, bunch of squares and rectangles put together. Representation वही है.
Hmm.
Think of it as a car. You know, one car looks different, the other car feels different, but they both do the same job. They take you from place A to place B. Analysis is same, results are same. कुछ change नहीं होता. सिर्फ look and feel is different. That's it.
Where is the planet strongest in a house? In the middle or side?
So, according to the main uh, astrology, जो है, it's basically verses, na? They are rules. The planet will be the strongest when it is situated at the same degree as the ascendant. You might not understand that. जब आप पैदा होते हो, there is zodiac signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. These signs are rising. They rise from the east and they set in the west. So just sign, let's say I'm Scorpio, right? I was born. तो
Hmm.
जब पैदा हुआ था, Scorpio was sitting at 13 degrees, the middle of Scorpio. That is
Hmm.
called my ascendant sign. That is called my ascendant degree. Any planet which is at 13 degrees will become very strong. And when a planet is that strong, he will give you the results of the house he is sitting in completely. So, to answer your question, the planet is strongest when he is at the same degree as the ascendant. Number one. जो ascent जो degree of house होता है वो 30 degrees होता है, right? 0 to
Uh-huh.
30,
Hmm.
right? Now, if a planet is sitting very close to either side, he was not going to give you good results. He cannot. What if he's sitting right at the middle of the house? He is considered very strong. So, but not as strong at ascendant degree. थोड़ा सा
Hmm.
confusing है ये. So, if your ascendant is at 10 degrees and the planet is at 10, he's strongest. If the planet is at 15, he is stronger but not strongest. If he
Hmm.
is at 0 or 30, he's very weak. So planet has to be strongest only at ascendant degree. But वो होता नहीं है. It's very rare. One or two planets you might have in some charts, but more than likely नहीं होता. It's not common to find a planet sitting at the ascendant degree. We find that in very successful people, when the right planet sits at the right degree, it can make you into a person who will be recognized for generations to come. You know, prime
You know,
ministers of countries, presidents, big political leaders, big industrialists, very popular celebrities, they have critical planets in the right house at the ascendant degree.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Saket Bhatia, because uh, some people they don't do enough effort and they don't work very hard, but suddenly, they get response and they get work or they get business opportunities and they just move very quickly and become very, very successful. So that is because of their stars, and you think it's because of the placement of their all the stars? That's the reason?
I think it is because of placement of stars and dasha.
Dasha.
आपने दशा
Okay.
सुनी है?
Yeah, Dasha
Sometimes,
Suni, yes. Hmm.
yeah, दशा में क्या होता है? You're sitting, you're waiting, you're not putting enough effort, and then somebody comes along, tells you, let's start this. हम ये साथ में करते हैं, या आपको
Yeah.
चलो एक्टर बना देते हैं, या आपको something comes along, you win a lottery, it is dasha. So the planet has to be strong. And then once the planet is strong, जब उसकी दशा आती है, that's when the planet wakes up and starts giving its results. आप
And
तो
folks, yeah, go ahead.
you've done some acting, right?
G, G.
So acting में there is a stage and there are many people that stand on the stage. ये जो stage है ये आपकी कुंडली है. ये जो actors हैं they are planets. जब दशा आती है then these planets come, they act and then they go back. समझे? So every planet is important. It identifies you for who you are. But जब दशा आती है they give their most results. People look at them and then they go back. Easy
You're
way
so
to
right.
understand.
जैसे कि अभी ये एक फिल्म आई है एनिमल, एंड आई एम seeing the way Bobby Deol has gotten importance and gotten so much of value, and he has not done. I don't think he has done a great acting, or he's played a character basically. I think it's the director's skill, and he's gotten so much of fame and name and opportunities and contracts and signing so many movies. This is so amazing. Never
दशा
seen
आती
it.
है.
The
It's a
shot.
dasha that came. It was at the right time. It clicked. He put the effort, and he's going. His career will take off now, and he's doing better. तो यही
Yes.
होता है. Astrologer can tell you कि आपकी दशा अच्छी है कि बुरी है. अगर बुरी है, then be cautious, be careful, sit back and wait. But अगर दशा अच्छी है, he can tell you that your dasha is good. Capitalize on it. Do the best you can, because उसके rewards बहुत अच्छे होंगे आपके लिए.
Because that time is very important.
वो टाइम वापस नहीं आता.
Yeah.
Time never comes back.
You know, if I read a birth chart, do I go clockwise or counterclockwise?
So two styles, right? North Indian and South Indian. अगर आप
Yeah.
North Indian chart पढ़ रहे हो, then you must go counterclockwise always. If you're reading a South Indian chart, you go clockwise. ये अलग होता है. It's confusing. North Indian में all the planet degrees also start from the left and go right. South Indian में they start from the right and go left. So North Indian go anti-clockwise and South Indian go clockwise. That is the simple rule.
And uh, we covered some bases. Can you give us an introduction to houses in astrology?
See, many people say astrology is complicated. It is. But let's understand step by step astrology में क्या होता है. The first most important thing in astrology is planet, right? So Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, ये planets होते हैं, ये important होते हैं. Second most important thing is sign. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. उसके बाद the third most important thing is what we call bhava. Bhava is field of action. It also represents house. तो ये जो
Mhm.
planets हैं, Jupiter, Mars, etc. Jupiter could be sitting in Sagittarius. Jupiter could be sitting in Scorpio. Venus can be sitting in Capricorn. But which house they are sitting in? Is it the first house, second house, third house? That is what a house means. 12 signs हैं, 12 घर हैं. Signs are fixed. जो zodiac है, it is 360 degrees. We divide that 360 degrees into 12 parts. Each is 30 degrees. This is called a house. The house is constantly changing. First house, second house, third house. They control your life, they control your destiny, they control who you are, they control your health, they control your wealth, they control your partners. When you will die, how many kids you will have, what your health will be like. Will you travel overseas? When will you have accident? When will you have surgery? Will you have litigation? How will your relations with your partner be? Everything is controlled by houses. हम जब घर पढ़ते हैं हमें पता चलता है what is going to happen to you tomorrow, today, just by looking at the planets, the sign, and the house. So, this is very, very important. Houses, we want to talk about houses today.
Mm-hmm.
This show is all about houses. Right? What is a house? How
Mm-hmm.
are we going to analyze the house?
So, which is the most important in a chart? Like ascendant, sun or moon?
नहीं, जब आप पैदा होते हो, when you were born, there is a certain zodiac sign which is rising at that time. That is on the east. We always say sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Na? जो zodiac sign rise होती है, that is called ascendant. In Vedic astrology, ascendant is the single most important factor for prediction. Sun takes 1 month to pass through a sign. When sun passes through 12 signs, it's considered a year. Khatam ho gaya. Moon takes 2.5 days to pass through a sign, right? But ascendant changes every 2 hours. So if somebody is born in New York today at 3:20 p.m. and
Mm-hmm.
somebody is born tomorrow at 3:20 p.m. in New York, they will have the same ascendant. The placement of the sun will be little off, moon will be little off, but they will have the same ascendant. If somebody is born in New York at 6 o'clock in the morning, his ascendant will be different, his chart will be different.
Mm-hmm.
So, ascendant is most important, followed by moon, followed by sun, which is considered distant third, because ascendant represents you, moon
Mm-hmm.
represents your mind, sun
Mm-hmm.
represents your soul. Therefore, it is very logical for us to say कि ascendant se chart padho, it is makes more sense, it's more accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Think of ascendant as your physical incarnation of this life, how you are projecting yourself to the world, how the world is perceiving you, right? These 12 houses determine different domains of your life, your potential, whether it is to make money, to find a partner, to have kids, to do well in career, to hire people. The signs will reflect your character and nature and how you are able to express it. So it is little confusing, but straightforward if you understand the basics. In Vedic astrology, we almost never use the sun sign. We use the ascendant. लेकिन इतना है कि if you can get correlation from the moon and the ascendant, then it validates what you're reading.
And yeah, means in Vedic astrology, uh, somebody like you with so many 25 years of experience, PhD, of course, you have achieved so much. And so you can, somebody who is uh, not very successful, but he has good dasha, good stars, you can help him, guide him, educate him, and tell him how and what all he should do to be more successful than he is today.
Yes, it's like a guide, right? अगर आप,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. Think of an Olympic swimmer, right? There are so many people who want to swim, but only a limited amount of people swim for the US team. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they put a lot of hard work, they have the right body, and they go to the right coach. अगर इन तीनों चीजों में से आप कुछ भी निकाल दो, they cannot take part in the US team, right?
They
If they
cannot.
don't have the
Yes.
body, they can't swim. If they don't have a coach, you cannot swim. If you don't have the drive, you can't swim. But इसमें coach important होता है because coach will fix your body and coach will push you to a limit where you can convince yourself, yes, I can swim and I can win. Astrologer is your coach. He is your guide. He is going to make sure that he understands where you are, what is it you're trying to achieve, what is it you're trying to gain, aap kahan ja rahe ho, and accordingly he will tell you when is the right time for you to step and do the right things. You want to start a business? He'll tell you what type of business you should do, when you should do, with who you should do, how much money you should put in.
Very interesting. Folks, if you joined us, we have with Dr. Saket Bhatia, and of course, he's PhD in astrology, and he's certified professional numerologist, and over 25 years of experience is with us live on Radio Zindagi. If you want to reach him now, you can reach him 732-662-4701. After the show, 408-639-5300. His website is saketbhatia.com. Email is info@saketbhatia.com. And my next question to you, Dr. Saket Bhatia, is then why do we consider the moon ascendant?
See, sometimes there are things you want to reinforce in life, correct? So, for example, let's say Saturn. Saturn is a planet which causes sterility, right? Agar Saturn is aspecting your fifth house, which is
Mhm.
house of children, from the ascendant, and from the moon also Saturn is aspecting the fifth house, then we can likely say you have the inability to have children. Okay. If Saturn is aspecting let's say, I'll give you an example. If Saturn is aspecting the 12th house, the 12th sign, the 12th house lord, from both the ascendant and the moon, then we know that arthritis or paralysis of the foot is likely. So the moon ascendant is a second source of refinement in reading. It reconfirms what we're seeing from the ascendant. Because kabhi kabhi kya hai, some things we read might not happen correctly or at the right time. But reading from the moon ascendant is considered more accurate. If you even want more, then we look at something called Sudarshan Chakra, where we don't just read from the ascendant, we read from the ascendant, the moon, the sun, सबसे पढ़ते हैं, just to get a better idea how accurate it is, you know. So
Uh, yeah.
if if you have Jupiter aspecting your second house,
Mhm.
let's say Jupiter is sitting in your say 10th house, he's aspecting your second house. For both the ascendant and Saturn and from the moon, pata hai ki you'll never have shortage of money. You're only going to grow your wealth. Your values are going to be very good. You'll be a good looking, charming personality. People will like you. So this is because Jupiter, the benefic planet, is aspecting wealth and value, second house, directly. This is a good sign. Always try to read the chart from the ascendant and then the moon to reconfirm what you're reading. It's important.
Um, my next question, let's start with the house quality now. Tell me a little bit about them.
House quality is a very tricky thing, right? Let me try explaining as much as I can. So 12 घर होते हैं, right? Let's assume we're looking at a North Indian chart. So we are going to go anti-clockwise.
Uh-huh.
There's houses 1 through 12. Angle houses, जो angles पे आते हैं, it's like a diamond. These are houses 1, 4, 7, and 10. These are called angular houses. इन्हें संस्कृत में हम केंद्र घर कहते हैं. Okay.
Indra.
Planets that are situated in these angle houses, any planet which is sitting there, happens to be very strong and very active. These angular houses, the planets are actually like aggressive planets. They will do good for you. They can do miracles for you. These planets are sharp. They have lots of energy. They have penetrating powers. They give you good decision power. You can achieve things. If you want to be successful in life, you want something good, you must have strong planets placed in 1, 4, 7, and 10. Out of these, the 10th is the strongest because when you're born, he's right up there looking at you, followed by the 7th, then 4th, and then the planet that is placed in the ascendant. Good planets will do miracles for you. Bad planets will help you, but they will cause a dark side of you in life. आप तो जानते होंगे, there are some successful people who have a dark side to them. There are some people who very hard to communicate with them. They've reached good levels in life because they have bad planets sitting in these 1, 4, 7, 10. Good planets will bring you luck, grace, protection. So that was 1, 4, 7, and 10. The next segment will be houses 2, 5, 8, and 11. हम इनको संस्कृत में पनपरा घर कहते हैं. These planets have moderate strength, not as much as 1, 4, 7, 10, but moderate. Think of them as fixed planets. These are responsible for you to accumulate wealth in life. They are planets responsible for taking on debt, for leading people, managing small teams. These are planets that are responsible for creativity, planets for gains. They help you manage your money, but they're not good for development or people start, but they don't know how to grow it. They don't know how to put an end. The strongest is the fifth, then 11th, then second and eighth. And finally, the four houses are 3, 6, 9, and 12, जो हम cadent houses कहते हैं. Apokolima in Sanskrit. Planets that are sitting here are very weak. They are uncertain. They're hidden in their action. Think of these planets as important for mental sensitivity, adaptivity, and intelligence. These are planets that give you stability or instability in life. They're also planets responsible for nervous problems and nervous breakdown. तो आप कहोगे कि इनकी importance क्या है? Because these are planets that cause spiritual growth and spiritual development. When you are intelligent, right? When you are smart, you understand right from wrong. When you have mental stress or you learn to give up on it, that's when you get to be more spiritual. So these planets, 3, 6, 9, 12, are spiritual planets. Ninth is the strongest. Third is second strongest. Sixth is fourth, third. And 12th is the weakest. But this, जब हम किसी की spirituality पढ़ते हैं, we must look at the 12th house because this is the house that says how you will let go of things in life, whether it is money, family, house, wealth, passion. Let go so you can become a more spiritual person. So this is the quality of the planets that is there, house qualities.
Very interesting.
One,
Very
four,
interesting.
1, 4, 7, 10 is one segment. Then the second segment was the 2, 5, 8,
8,
and
11.
11. And then we have the third one. So ये सब पढ़ना पड़ता है when we look at charts. This is very basic stuff in astrology.
And what is the prior placement of planets in a house then?
Hey, किसी की भी chart perfect नहीं होती. It is impossible to get a chart which is absolutely dead on perfect. But there is something we believe which is a proper placement of planets. Proper placement will give you success in life, right? जैसे अगर आप गाड़ी है, you have to maintain it, you have to put proper oil in it, gas, it drives fine. You have to change the tires, fine. But गाड़ी तो वैसी ही है. You can't change the outward appearance of your car. You can change the color. Same thing in life with planets. You can't change the position of these planets. They are where they are. They are going to give you the results they give you, whether late or whether early. So remember, जो angular planets है 1, 4, 7, 10, we need that in the chart. They will give you the drive, they will give you the luck, they will give you the grace that is necessary. Study the chart of any famous man in the world or any powerful man, woman, leader. They all have strong planets in their angular house. I just met somebody who's running a big business chain here. He has so many planets placed in the seventh house. No wonder he's doing successful business, running multi chains of restaurants here. So, number one, the planets must be placed in 1, 4, 7, 10. This is considered to be a good chart. A chart that has negative planets placed in 1, 4, 7, 10 is think of it as a ship with holes. And a chart which has no planets in 1, 4, 7, 10, Khali, that is like a ship which is already sinking. Then we have to do a lot of work on that chart. We have to make other planets stronger to give it a boost, right? So
Mhm.
bad planets that sit will may still give you success, but they show destructive character. ये एंगल्स के जो प्लैनेट है, दे विल मेक यू अकम्प्लिश मेनी थिंग्स इन लाइफ,
Mm-hmm.
राइट? बट दे कैन ऑल्सो कॉज अस टू बी लेस सेंसिटिव, लेस इंट्रोस्पेक्टिव. Spirituality gives them less importance, right? So हमें there are three types of planets: cardinal, fixed, mutable. वो हम बाद में डिस्कस करते हैं. If
Okay.
you have too many, if if you have too many planets that are sitting in, हमने तीन तीन डिवीजन किए थे, right? 1 4 7
Yes.
10 2 5 8.
Yeah.
If all your planets are sitting in one of those segments, it will hurt you. अभी
Mm-hmm.
जो साधु संत होते हैं, we see most of their planets are sitting in 3 6 12 and 8. They don't have
Okay.
much money, they don't have that passion, they don't have that drive in life, they only have
No desire.
spirituality.
No desire for money.
No desire, no desire for money, no desire for fame, no desire for family. They only care about spirituality. तो ऐसी charts हमें बहुत कम दिखती हैं, where all the planets are spread out only in one of those segments, 4 segments. But if it is case, then we tell you this is what life wants from you. इसलिए if you want a good balance in life, you must have your planet spread out over these 3 zones.
Mm-hmm.
I've also met people who had no planets in the house of spirituality, but had their planets spread out only over money and themselves. And we immediately say, इन्हें पैसे बनाने हैं, इन्हें life lead करनी है, luxury चाहिए, but they don't care about others. Right? Now,
Um,
let's
yeah, go ahead.
let's take an let's take an there's another way to look at it. I was talking about houses 1, 4, 7, 9, and all, right?
Yeah.
Same way, there are other houses also, uh, which we will talk about. They are called trines. वो बात करते हैं उनके बारे में थोड़ा.
Uh-huh.
तो जो ट्राइन हाउस होते हैं, they are 1, 5, and 9. Very, 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 very important. 1, 5, and 9 are जो यहाँ planets बैठते हैं, they are not very strong. But the planet that rules these houses is very strong. These trines, अगर जुपिटर कोई ट्राइन में बैठ जाता है, he blesses you for life. If moon sits in a trine, he blesses you for life. The ninth house is the luckiest house for an individual in his life. It is the house of luck. The fifth
Mm-hmm.
house is the house of intelligence. It is also called the house of past birth credit. अगर आपने इस जन्म में कुछ अच्छा किया, अगले जन्म में your fifth house is going to be very nice. If you have done something nice in your life, your previous life, your fifth house will be very blessed with good planets. So fifth house, although the planets are not as strong as 1, 4, 7, 10, they're very important for spirituality. And the lords of these houses have to be studied very carefully because they can make the person reach levels you can't even imagine.
See, the next question I have is you explained angular houses, and I have heard that trines. What is that?
Trines are the 159 which I just spoke about. ये जो घर
Okay.
होते हैं, they are important for luck, spirituality, creativity, relationship. They are important for your personality, determination, length of life.
Mm-hmm.
Trines are separate from quadrant houses. The planets are not very strong here, but the lords of these are very, very strong. जब astrologer आपको remedies दिखाते हैं ना astrology में, when he says you should do this dan or you can wear that gemstone or you can do something, it is almost always placed on the trines. The first thing astrologer will say is ninth house ko strong karo. Sometimes it's not needed because ninth house is already very strong. Sometimes he'll say fifth house, बच्चे नहीं हो रहे, fifth house. That way.
Mm-hmm. Any other type
Those
of
are three.
house relation we should know of?
Oh, yes. There are three very important types of houses that you should know.
Mm-hmm.
They are called Upache, Pache, and Dushtana houses. Let me explain these three houses to you. So, Vedic astrology में house number 3, 6, 10, and 11 are called Upache house. ये first set of house है.
Mm-hmm.
Upache का मतलब होता है increasing in power, increasing in strength. अगर आपके तीसरे, छठे, 10वें और 11वें घर में planets हैं, as you grow older, these planets will become stronger and stronger, and they will give you better results as it gets older. Now, आप कह सकते हो कि शनि is not a good planet. अगर Saturn आपके 11th house में बैठ जाता है, he gives you lots of stability, he gives you lots of property, he gives you lots of good direction in life, you know. So that is very important. Any planet that sits in the 11th house is good. We want planets there. Now, question is, why is it called Upache? Because 3 is hobbies. It's the house of your courage. It is the strength. It is the
Mhm.
relation with your sibling. 6 is your health. It is also the house of managing people. 10th आपका करियर है और 11th आपकी लाइफ की गेन्स है. होपफुली जैसे जैसे आपकी लाइफ बढ़ती है, these houses improve. Correct?
Yeah.
You want better career in life, that's 10th house. You want more gains, that is 11th house. So make sure the 3, 6, 10, 11 planets increase with time. Right? Now, the next
Yeah.
thing, yes,
Good.
next group of houses is called Apache houses. These are houses of decrease. उपाचे बढ़ते थे, अपाचे घटते हैं. 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8 are considered to be Apache houses. Planets that are located in these houses lose their strength over time. Good, good planets will become weak. Bad planets will cause problems for you. The 8th is the worst. It is the house that causes your death. 2 is your money. जैसे जैसे आप बड़े होगे, typically wealth also goes down. 4th is your house where you're happy. As you grow older, your kids move out, family moves out, you start staying more alone. 7th is marriage, partnership. As you grow older, some partnership tends to have friction. Maybe a partner has a death. That's why it is called Apache, decrease. And finally, the last is 6, 8, and 12, which are called Dushtana houses. ये important है. Planets that are located in 6, 8, 12 are problem causing houses. छठा घर आपको बीमारी देता है. 8th house will cause injury, loss, death. And 12th house can send you to prison. It can cause loss, sorrow, suffering. So malefics in the 6th house can be very good for power. You can rule over people, but still cause disease. A good planet in the 6th can cause intelligence, but disease तो फिर भी देगा. अभी अगर आपका मार्स 8th हाउस में है, या किसी का भी मार्स रेट्रोग्रेड 8th हाउस में होता है, we almost always know they have a violent death. They have death by accident, death by death by poisoning. Saturn जब 8th हाउस में जाता है, उल्टा कर देता है. He actually increases the length of your life. So we like to see Saturn in the 8th house. बड़ी लंबी लाइफ होती है.
Mhm.
12th house, benefic, good planet जब 12th हाउस में आता है, he gives you spirituality. Bad planet जाता है, he diverts your way. The only planet which does well in the 12th house is Venus. It will give you prosperity, comfort, luxuries of life. Ketu also does well in the 12th. Spirituality देता है, psychic
Mhm.
powers देता है. याद है, when people say I'm a psychic or people say I'm an astrologer, we like to study their chart. अगर आपका first lord, जो first house का ruler है, 8th में बैठ जाता है, it makes you somebody who's capable of doing astrology. राहु अगर छठे घर में बैठ जाता है, you will almost always win over your enemies and you will get success in foreign lands. But nervous system disorder देता है. देखिए, हर एक planet घर में बैठता है, there is something good and something bad, right? These houses are difficult points because of the transition that happens. अगर एक planet is sitting very close to a certain house, it's even more difficult for us. For example, अगर आपके छठे और आठवें घर के बीच में planet बैठ गया, it could indicate your wife is going to fall ill or your husband is going to fall ill. They will have a disease, right? So
बिल्कुल.
study the placement of the planet. study the house, study the degree, study all these aspects before you can make a decision. It takes time. इसलिए जब when people come to us and say I need a reading, अब जो callers हैं, they're going to ask one question, हम answer करते हैं. But when you want a detailed reading, it takes us at least 1 hour to make the chart and read the chart so we know what is going on. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you go to your doctor and you tell your doctor, I have back pain, he's going to study and he's still going to say, why does your doctor still check your temperature? Why does he check your vitals? What if there is something else wrong? Yeah.
You're live with us? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Dr. Saket Bhatia, go ahead.
I can hear. Yeah. Hi, Sandeep. Can you get, can you repeat your date of birth once again? 11th October. 11th October 1999, 2:30 p.m. So you're born on Monday. Okay, give me 1 second. When did you lose your job? Have you been trying to get another job? Look at your chart. Have you ever been to an astrologer? Okay. In your chart, you're a Capricorn ascendant, Vedic astrology में. और हमने कहा था कि wherever your ascendant lord sits, that house is guaranteed. So your ascendant lord Saturn, वो चौथे घर में बैठता है. अभी दशा चल रही है Saturn की. Okay, it is followed by Saturn Mercury. Mercury is sitting in the house of career. Mercury is in a great friend sign. Saturn, however, is slightly debilitated. वो debilitation की वजह से असर है. Your job, you although you lost it in 2023 mid, the time difficulty started in 2022. Now, my suggestion, I don't see you getting a job till January 2025. Okay, time lagega. Yeah, it is going to take. I Saturn, Mercury are good friends. They're 7 houses away from each other. Mercury is very strong in your chart. जब वो दशा किक इन होगी, you should get a job. And Jupiter transit में, अभी Jupiter transit में is sitting on your fourth house. He is aspecting your seventh, but he's not going to be able to get you the job because he's still a malefic planet. You'll have to wait. My suggestion is you will definitely get a job in January of next year. But if you want to try, आप try करते रहो. The chance is little low at this time. You will start getting interviews towards September of the year, but job will come in January next year. Okay. I think you can call us for that because we'd like to answer one question here.
Yeah.
You can. Your moon is placed in the 10th house. You can do some service related business, franchise, teaching. Uh, I don't know आपकी qualification क्या है, but call us and we'll talk about that. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Folks, you're tuned to Radio Zindagi. And of course, we are talking to Dr. Saket Bhatia with us. And after the show, please reach him at 408-639-5300 or saketbhatia.com. If you want to send an email, info@saketbhatia.com. And right now in the studios, 732-662-4701. I hope everybody is enjoying the show, and I can just tell you one thing, that it's really an experience listening to Dr. Saket Bhatia. There is so much of information, knowledge with his experience of 25 years. in this, and of course, with the combined power of astrology and numerology, he can help you, guide you, and he can educate you. And I think थोड़ी सी मेहनत और थोड़ी सी लगन और थोड़ी सी कोशिश से आप अपने जीवन को सुधार सकते हैं. Go ahead, please. Can we hear?
Good.
Can you hear now?
Now I can. I lost them again. You can tell me what they're asking. I can't hear anything.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, and what is your name? Yeah, it is regarding your daughter. What is her name? Aditi Sharma. And her date of birth, November 23rd, 1992. And time, please. 6:45 p.m. and place of birth, New York City. So it is, doctor, it is Aditi Sharma, November 23rd, 1992. Time is 6:45 p.m.
in New York.
In New York City.
I could hear the previous person. I don't know why I can't hear this lady.
Can you go ahead and talk? Hello?
I can talk, but what is it they want to know?
She wants to
Now
know
I
about
can
the
hear
marriage.
her. Kulraj, I
Yeah,
can hear her now.
Okay.
Hello? I don't know. Just this is same thing again. I lost it. Did you touch something maybe?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
What can I help you with? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I have your daughter's chart, Aditi Sharma, born November 27, 1992, 6:45 in New York City, right? Okay. And what is your question? Is this for medical school? Mental. It's similar for us because astrology may be considered to be medical. Look at your daughter's chart carefully. She's a Gemini ascendant. This show pay, I was telling people, we like to see good planets in house 1, 4, 7, and 10. Your daughter has Jupiter, Venus, two two of the best planets sitting in the 1, 4, 7, 10. और उसकी दशा जो चल रही है Mercury, Jupiter, Jupiter. Mercury is the house of herself, intelligence. Jupiter is the house of career. She should get admitted. Absolutely. Should not be a problem at all. Jupiter is aspecting his own house. वो transit में भी higher education के घर में है. She'll get admitted. Okay? No problem.
Yes.
So when Abhish,
Go
this
ahead.
lady called, first thing I saw is medical school because moon is very strongly placed in this chart. It's a good chart. I mean, yes, we didn't see dental, but we saw medicine. हाँ, अच्छा है. अच्छी chart थी.
Mhm. And my next question is, in your opinion, what are the 4 goals of life?
Astrology में, when we look at a human being, we want to make sure that there are four things that every chart can convey. पहले हम देखेंगे, we'll break down the houses into three segments for this. First is house 1, 5 and 9. हमने कहा था they are trine houses, right? ये आपके धर्म के घर होते हैं. धर्म. These are houses that will dictate you in life. The first house is about you. Fifth house is your intelligence, your creativity, your expression. Ninth house is your luck, higher aspiration you're trying to seek in life. So the first segment जो धर्म होता है बहुत important होता है. It is what purpose you have in life. What are you here to fulfill? 159. You must fulfill that. If you don't, you're going to come back next life with that unfulfilled desire. वो राहु बन जाता है फिर. The second segment is houses 2, 6 and 10. These are related to accumulation of wealth. इन्हें हम अर्थ कहते हैं. अर्थ. तो पहला धर्मा था, अभी अर्थ है. Houses 2, 6 and 10 are important because the second house is related to wealth and values. आप किस तरह से पैसे बनाओगे? By cheating people, by doing the right things, ethical things. That is second house. Sixth house is difficulties you will face in your life. Difficulties related to career, related to health, debts, etc. The 10th house is how much you will achieve in life. Success, fame, those kind of things. So धर्म हो गया, अर्थ हो गया. अब कामा आ जाता है. So you have defined what you want in life. You've defined the money you'll make in life. अब आता है how you will spend that money in life. Your desires. House 3, 7, 11 are related to that. जो तीसरा घर होता है, that is your house of hobbies. You like music, you like to spend money on shopping, you like to spend money on furniture. वो third house है. Seventh house is your partner, wife, husband, how you will enjoy life with them. And 11th house is gains. Whatever you're spending or whatever you're making, how much you're going to enjoy fruits of that. So धर्म हो गया, अर्थ हो गया, कामा हो गया, and finally the last segment is called moksha. House 4, 8 and 12. Moksha is called liberation. Fourth house is your house of peace. आप घर जाते हो, you should be relaxed. If there are bad planets, you're not going to be happy going home. Eighth house is the house of sudden breaks. Struggles जो life में आती है. The planet that causes death. And 12th house is how you let go of things in life. हमने बहुत देखे हैं people who are very vengeful, that take revenge from people. That's because of the 12th house having bad planets. अगर आपके 12th house में अच्छे planets बैठे हैं ना, you tend to forget, forgive and move on. So the four goals in life are dharam. What is your purpose in life? Why are you here? Second, earth. Accumulating wealth and possessions the right way by doing the right things. Third, desires. Fulfilling your desire. Fulfilling desire for your family. Fulfilling desire for people you care of. Kama. And fourth, once you have made enough money, you have given and provided to people, moksha. Try to balance your life out. Be peaceful. Be happy. Pray to God. ये चार है purpose of your life. These are the only four purposes of life. Now, as you take more and more births, you'll realize your planets will start shifting towards the moksha houses.
Jay, very, very interesting. And I think we are coming to just few minutes away and we're going to be ending a show. But it has been very, very interesting, Dr. Saket Bhatia. I think the information and the way you explained, and I can see how everybody is getting involved and getting engaged in your way of presenting and astrology. And I think in one of the shows, we'll also talk the combination of numerology and try to bring in and how people can take advantage of your knowledge and experience, how you can benefit. I think I just want all the listeners and the viewers to know that Dr. Saket Bhatia is a very well-to-do individual. He's a businessman himself, and this is his passion to help the community, help you out there. And there are a lot of people out there जो अपनी जिंदगी की उलझनों में फंस जाते हैं, और उस उलझन को सुलझाने के लिए you need somebody like Dr. Saket Bhatia who's so experienced and knowledgeable. And I think with the experience and his respect in this profession of numerology, astrology, I think people regard him and respect him. 25 years is a long time for anybody to be in this profession and field. So I want to really thank you, Dr. Saket Bhatia, for being so kind and generous and coming on Radio Zindagi and talking to our viewers, listeners on Facebook, and all over people are watching you. Thank you so much. My name is Kulraj,
Thank you,
and
Kulraj.
you know,
I,
and looking forward for the next show. And I think a lot of people will reach out to you and they want that the Varsh Phal, and
I hope we only do this once a year where we give Varshfal. So take advantage of it. Contact our office. Just email us. Give us your details.
just email at that is info@saketbhatia.com, and
Yes.
website is saketbhatia.com, and info@saketbhatia.com. You can send an email, or 408-639-5300. And next week again at the same time at 3 o'clock we'll be live with Dr. Saket Bhatia. Namaskar and Jai Shri Ram. Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Ram. Namaskar. Bye bye.
Thank you.